Go.
Hiya, Robert.
Hi, Sarah-Jayne.
Do you have 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Do you remember the other day we recorded you doing that approach to me, the positive approach?
Yes.
And I was just wondering if you had a chance for us to have a look through it and see how you think it went and any areas of learning. Would that be okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Lovely. So I've just got it on my phone here. So let me just rewind it to the beginning. There we go. Lovely. So how do you feel that was then?
I think as a general principle, it still feels a bit unusual, and you have to be quite mindful of your actions and what you're doing. And so, there's a worry that it can then not feel natural.
Yeah.
In that sense. I did try to think about the distance and how the approach was made.
Okay.
And try and do that in a kind of non-threatening way. But yeah, I think it went okay.
So it seems like there's a few things there. You sort of acknowledging that you were trying to do it in a non-threatening way by keeping that edge of space before you went in. But that acknowledgement as well that it still feels a little bit unusual, a little bit unnatural at the moment, and something to maybe think about going forward. Yeah,
absolutely. I think it's just making those connections between why you're doing things in the way that you're doing them.
Okay.
And it's not necessarily about you, is it? It's about how we're helping the other person process the information.
That's a really good way of looking at it. So if you're going to think back to the video we've just watched there, what are 2 things that you think went well and one thing that you may be not so sure on?
I think the 2 things that went well, kind of the introduction.
Yeah. So
bringing hand close to face to try and make that association. And then when I'm saying the name, it's that connection with me, so tapping on that. So
okay.
I think the bit that maybe didn't quite go so well is then how you sit down and interact with the person to begin that interaction. So that hand on the hand, to kind of taking their hand and sitting with them still, I think that's something I need to develop.
Okay. So if we're going to think about how you're going to develop that and really sort of make a little bit of a plan, how do you think you could do that?
I always think role play is a good thing, so find someone that you're comfortable with and just practice, like you would a musical instrument, for example. So if you do something often enough, it becomes routine. But I think kind of what we're doing now, that kind of observation and getting the feedback and someone giving you hints and tips about things you can do better. Okay,
so maybe that quite practical approach works for your learning style, that working it through in role play and then being able to reflect on it. Yeah. So if we're going to be specific about that, when might you think about doing that and who with maybe?
Probably some peers. So I can think about the other members of staff that kind of work and have done the same training so that they know kind of what it's about rather than having to explain it to somebody. But you can maybe do it in kind of peer supervision. Okay.
So when's the next peer supervision then?
We have them monthly, so I think it'll be like next week.
Next week, okay. So maybe if we meet the week after and see how that's gone, and then you can have spent that time in peer supervision, giving it a go, doing that role play, and then reflecting on it, and then we could sit down together and have another look at it and see how you feel.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Okay, so week after next.
Yeah.
Brilliant. All right, thank you.
Thank you.